Pisces, what is going on? Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to the channel. I'm Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive. So welcome guys. Thanks for tuning in. I think I already said all that. Can you tell my little hamster wheel? I don't know how much of the introductions you guys want. I mean, do you like them or not? Definitely drop comments below. I feel like I say the same thing over and over again. And I think a lot of readers say the same thing. And I think like if you're familiar with readings, you get the gist. But then my anxiety is like, make sure you say it all, just in case. So Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, cross watchers, obviously welcome. The energy, the timing is fluid as long as the message resonates, right? That's the most important. We can receive messages at any time, in any way. We just gotta ask, right? So, happy birthday to anybody celebrating this week. We're still in Pisces season. I hope it's been treating you well, sending all the love and blessings your way. Oh, beautiful. I love that. So this is that female archetype, right? This is about embodying that element of abundance, strength. Like, she just reminds me of a warrior woman, you know? And it doesn't matter what gender you are. Maybe dudes might not like that as much, but you know, I think the feminine is a gorgeous energy, right? Because it's creation, it's empowerment, it's abundance, you know? And it is a very strong energy. It's like she's lighting the way. If you ever see any of those, I guess like, wasn't it Wonder Woman? That was like a matriarchal society, you know? That's what it kind of reminds me of. But definitely, all that to say, Pisces, definitely you standing strong in your power, despite the conflict coming your way. This feels for you like you've had a lot of different things thrown at you. And usually when this happens, it's like, I kind of feel like this is spirit testing us. I feel like you've kind of been dodging, you know, using that, energy to, you know, kind of like fluidly navigate through everything. I think this message is twofold. I feel like you've been able to be your most successful when you are grounded in yourself and in your truth. I also believe with this earth energy, there is this call for grounding as well. So depending on when you are watching this, I'm recording it on the Virgo full moon. So there's that earth energy right there. This is about being practical with the day-to-day is what I'm hearing. You know, like Piscean energy can be like incredibly fanciful, imaginative, you know, tapping into this like endless potential that exists. I also think that it's like we got to temper it with the day-to-day, the mundane, when things aren't that exciting, you know, the alarm clock going off, the same routine, etc. Because you are a lot more empowered, I feel like you've, like I said, what's been thrown at you, you've been able to surmount and overcome from a place of strength. You need to, but it's like I'm hearing it as like we can have a challenge or an obstacle and we get over it and we're like, yeah, I made it through. So then how can I use that energy every day, right? Not that you constantly have to be fighting or like warrior woman. I don't hear it as that. I just also hear it's like tempering, right? Like finding, getting what you want and then knowing how to deal with it, basically, is what the Nine of Cups is saying. I love that energy for you. What like a beautiful reading, Pisces, for your birthday season, birthday month. So finding what you want. This could be in relationship, in love. But again, the Hierophant is also spirituality, tradition. You know, I feel like, again, it kind of stems back to what I was just saying, like integrating that into the everyday, not just if the situation needs it, you'll pull out your spiritual card. You know, it's more like, okay, but that's actually what keeps you grounded and stable, right? Is the amount of work that you're doing on yourself to be strong. And I feel like you did a lot, and then a lot got thrown at you, and you overcame. But now it's finding a way to continue the practice, to continue the inspiration in a more mundane way. But you're still, I think, well, and that could be part of it. Something about your energy is not convinced. Still waiting to see how this all unfolds. Because I think maybe you, again, that concept of the fantasy, you probably envisioned it to be different than what it was. I don't know. I hear this as like there is always that human component to things. Like, you know, like, I don't know if this is a weird example, but I think it's so perfect. It's like you could be with the hottest person in the world, but they still are a human and they smell, and you know what I mean? There's always going to be that kind of like humanness behind it. And I feel like that's, maybe you got sold on this grandiose idea of what this would look like, feel like, etc. Yeah, you're not convinced. It's like you're looking at something like, really? Is that really what I want though? And I feel like this energy has been coming up for you a lot lately, Pisces. You have to look at what makes you happy. Does it make you happy, you know? If someone stinks, just tell them to take a shower, right? Like, in a nice way. No, I'm joking. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that I'm not promoting the nitpicky, but I think it's all about like how things make you feel. That's the end of the day. You know, our feelings are our emotional guidance system. It is telling us if something is working for us or not, you know? I would say to you, like, there is this element of like, I don't know, like it feels like something just got de-glamorized. But I almost feel like you have this element of like, well, I'm better than this. I deserve better. I don't know if I should say that. Do you feel like you're, I don't know, like, yeah, there's just yeah, okay, so there's that Emperor energy, Aries. So we have fire energy on the board. I mean, Ace of Pentacles. So I feel like this is someone who kind of has it all, especially if this is relationship for you. Partnership, love relationship, because that's where I kind of see like you feeling like you're a little bit better than this person, and that's fine. Maybe you are, you know. I also feel like with this individual, they're like the whole package, and that's the human component for you, right? Because I think what I'm hearing is you thought it was going to look different. Even if this isn't love, if this is like a business partner, you know, that you went into business with, to be redundant, but, you know, or a friend or a mentor or, you know, someone that I think again, you like them. I feel like you like being around them. There's a lot of good synergy, but I also feel like you're kind of looking at them in this way of like, really, is this really making me happy? Is this really what I want? There is this element of, I think this person can feel it, is what I'm seeing. Because they're kind of looking at this like, I don't know, their approach to this dynamic is a little more practical, a little more grounded. Like I said, I feel like you're clinging on to the fantasy a little bit more and wanting to make that the reality. But that's where I feel like that illusion is for you, Pisces. Because they're looking at it like, well, you know, I'm taking a practical approach to things with this Ace of Pentacles that's very grounded. You could be with an earth sign or just someone who thinks that way a little bit more. Earth is our, Earth is the everydayness, right? And honestly, you need a little bit of this. Actually, earth and water really complement each other quite well because earth can absorb the water, you know? And earth also shares that water component to it as well, according to Ayurveda. So it could be about money, you know? Maybe this person's not as ambitious as you are, or maybe their ambition looks different than yours does. And so they look at you like, well, you're not even appreciating this situation, you know? With this Page of Cups energy, be mindful, Pisces, no shade to anyone, just saying what's coming through, that you're not undervaluing this person because they're in a place where they're not going to stick around if they don't feel like you are even interested in them. And that's kind of how they're receiving the energy that you're giving off to them. So let's look at what's blocking you, Pisces. Okay. Just being honest with yourself, seeing things for what they are. You know, maybe you need a little bit of advice. Talk to someone. You know, I do think this person needs to take a step back, go within, recenter themselves. The Hermit is governed by Virgo, which is all about our health, our wellness, having more of a practical, analytical approach. It's also opposite on the zodiac from you, right? So it is that grounding force, you know? And this person probably isn't tapping into that. I feel like they might be getting a little bit offended is what I'm hearing. And maybe you don't even realize that you're doing it with this Ace of Swords. But that kind of goes back to what I was saying. Do a little research, you know, talk to someone you respect, you value, like maybe someone who's been in your situation before, someone that you normally you wouldn't really like, you don't normally get information from, or like, I'm hearing it's like, don't go to the friends that are like, oh yeah, you know, kind of like appeasing your ego. Go to the people that actually have wisdom, knowledge, etc. Because right now things are stagnant. It's blocking the working with each other. There's a lot of fighting going on and it's unnecessary. That's what the Five of Wands is all about, right? You guys are holding your ground. I think there's this level of stubbornness with them being the Emperor, you coming through as the Queen of Wands. You know, there's like, no, it's going to be my way. You both are trying to be the person on top. And it's not about being a doormat. I never encourage that. I hear it, maybe you're afraid of that if you kind of flex a little bit to their will, it's going to be putting you subservient to them. But I don't feel like that's their goal and motivation. I'm hearing it as they need time. You know, this is just the beginning. And I feel like whatever this is for them, whether it's the amount of money they make, etc., they feel like there's time for that, you know? It does look like you know, either you're receiving messages, insight from the Queen of Cups. That can be someone who's very intuitive. Obviously, your water energy, that could be, but I almost hear that like, you know, this could be getting advice from a reader, like someone like me. It doesn't have to be me, but just saying like, or just someone who's very loving, emotionally nurturing, supportive. Like I said, someone that you really respect, and maybe someone in a position of authority, older male, father figure. And these people are going to help you feel a little bit more grounded and balanced in what's happening. Hence this earth energy for you, Pisces. I feel like you're getting different pieces of information. One person is a little bit more practical, analytical, and one is approaching it more from the love, the intuition, the feeling. Remember, because a lot of this is about what makes you feel happy and fulfilled. It might not look like we anticipate it is going to. That's the magic of life. It also can be disappointing 100% if you thought it was going to come in this like very specific package. I think the best thing we can do for ourselves though is when we have a fantasy, like plug it into the practical, right? Like, how would this really look if you had the hottest person in the room? Well, they might be superficial AF, you know what I mean? Or like sleep around, or you know what I mean? Or just like very unreliable, untrustworthy, etc. You know what I mean? And not saying that every attractive person is like that. I hope you understand my for example. It's just this concept of the nature of humans, right? And kind of how people show up, etc. So for some reason, okay, protection. Let me clarify that. So, you know, I think that this disconnect with this person is a blessing in disguise. They do have to get more grounded, hence this hermit energy. You might be telling them that might be where the conflict is coming into play. You know, but I think for you, be patient with the process. Don't cut them off because you don't like it right in this present moment. I do see that you are waiting, right, with this Three of Wands energy to see how it all shakes out. But like I said, even in your mind, it's kind of like, don't sell them short, because that's just gonna perpetuate the energy anyway, right? I think you guys just really need to listen to each other. That goes back to communication. It's the hardest thing, but it's such keys in our relationships, right? It is the key, because when we don't understand something, it's so important to go back and say, hey, I didn't really understand why you said this or whatever. Can you clarify? You know, or making a practical timeline. You know, there's always different ways to work with the energy instead of like, oh, well, they said this, so no more. You know, unless it's warranted, which I don't feel like you even think that it is. I think there is really beautiful connection. It's exactly what you want, what you envisioned for yourself, right? But I think there's also this element of seeing if it's going to work out that way. And I think there needs to be a little bit more discovery between you and this person. Lay down the weapons, stop fighting, just have a conversation and really listen to what each other is saying. So I hope that helped, Pisces. I'm sending lots of love and blessings as you navigate. Definitely reach out if you need some love, support, you know, through whatever you're traveling through. Give me a big thumbs up if it resonated. Drop comments below. Let's build and grow the community. Thanks so much for your love and support. Sending it back your way.